Hi to everybody, here we are in in the heart of Milan at the Fashion Hub. The event of today will be Budapest Select. It's a very interesting event with a lot of creativity, a lot of young and emergency designers. You should follow me in the backstage and during the fashion show. Come on! Hello Sofia, what a great show, what a great cooperation with Milan Fashion Week and with Camera della Moda. It has been a great pleasure to have your designers like a special guest for this edition, but not only.
We are really happy that we already have this cooperation since 2018, so we signed a 3-year strategic partnership together with the Camera Nazionale della Moda, and the first edition what we launched, it was a mentoring system together. So with the international professionals, they help to the Hungarian designers to prepare for this event like this, and this is the 6th time.
So, considering the fact that the project was starting like a sort of training in order to transmit something of our Italian, but not only Italian, international fashion culture, the result is something of extraordinary.
I'm really very happy to be selected into this international mentoring program because I evolved a lot, I think, so I agree with you. This collection is about poetry. The title of the collection is Summer Poetry, and I was inspired by a beautiful Hungarian poem which is about a lovely starry night with someone you love.
We are interested in knowing something about the raw materials that we used, the shapes and the attitude, the vocation, the inspiration, and that's enough.
When I was a small kid, as a friend of her, I received these old postcards, and I kept them as a memory, and then I forgot about them and I left at my parents' home, and last year I found this in a box. It was like totally forgotten, and all of the colors were like faded, but in a beautiful way.
We know that this cooperation with Camera Nazionale della Moda Italiana was starting a lot of years ago, like a sort of training in order to transmit our culture and our genius in loci of made in Italy and of Italian and European culture of fashion.
So basically it's a modern twist on feather down jackets, because whenever you think of a feather down jacket, you just imagine this huge oversized puffer jacket. So I was really playing around with what it really means and what it is. And while I was designing, I envisioned a woman who's the explorer of her own world, and she is in touch with her inner and outer self. And the life that we're living right now, it's really fluid and transcendent, because you're working from home, and then maybe if you want to go for a hike, you can just put on this button-down shirts or suits, because it's I was really trying to give more function.
Della, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Della, just speeding, baby, let's slow it down.
You make some elements of news in order to refresh a collection. For example, the last beautiful dress on a curvy woman, and it's one of the most important theme in the culture of fashion, actually.
In the brand, I make the patterns, the shapes, and yeah. The inspiration was architectural. We inspired a lot of artists and from our city, Budapest, architectural like modern buildings, and we used in cuts and shapes on the clothes.
I think it's really important for the runway and for the fashion in general. That fashion was really interesting in the 80s and in the 90s, where the supermodels were supermodels. But nowadays, fashion is for everyone.